Well, that guy in motion was Trey McBride. What a week he had last week. Rondale Moore is in motion now. Off the play fake, Murray to throw, and he dumps it off out of the backfields. And a first down right out of the gates. Let's take a look at the Cardinals lineup. You figured they were going to go to McBride early there. They do for the first down. Maybe first down for the 43. And the handoff goes to Connor. Connor running to his left, and Connor's got a first down up across the 10. In motion is Swain. They'll use all four tight ends today. Murray dancing in the pocket. He's looking long. He's looking for Rondale Moore. He's got it! Touchdown, Cardinals! Kyler Murray, nearly 48 yards for the score. And that's the first receiving touchdown of the year for Rondale Moore.
Pass block and run block.
Stroud to throw on third down, gets rid of it quickly to Robert Woods, the veteran, and he just sits down past the first down marker. Third down conversions for the Texans are up. This is a long one, though. Third down and 10, and the pass complete. Tank Dell's got it near the sidelines. What a favorite receiver he's become. That's him dancing in the backfield. On first down at Singletary. He sheds one blocker. Singletary jukes to his left. And Singletary is spun down inside the 25. He thought he was still on his feet. Gardeck eventually made the tackle, and it's another first down run. Look at Nico Collins. They go to him a lot in these spots. On third down, quick toss. He's got Collins. Collins dives forward, and he's close to a first down. Jalen Thompson makes the tackle.
They're loving it. They're loving the call.
Mike Boone takes the pitch. Boone has a blocker. A little stutter step, didn't get it. He was stopped near the 15. Kaiser White from the middle linebacker position came in to make the tackle. Of being able to seal the deal defensively. Murray to throw on third down. Now he's directing traffic. He eludes one defender, throws on the run, and it's incomplete. The game from the 39-yard line. Arizona up top, 7-0. Stroud looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, passes complete to Dell. And Dell, the Houston Cougar product, makes the catch. There's Dell in motion again in the backfields. On first down, off the play fake. Stroud looking to throw, middle of the field. Robert Woods leaping in the air. Maybe he is still the fastest receiver in the room.
Now you see the Texans come back and spread it back out.
On third down, Boone, by the way, in the backfield. Pass is caught. It's a diving grab. Sliding toward the goal line is Dalton Schultz. Did he get in? He says he did. Touchdown, Texans. But we'll take a look. He's out with a shoulder injury. Tried to see if he can go before the ball game. Connor is able to elude one tackler at the line of scrimmage. He's got another first down and a little stiff arm out of bounds right near midfield. And he was booting it today from 60 in practice this way. On third down, Murray pitches a few times and he's going down. Well, maybe a little farther out of field goal range now. That was Will Anderson with the sack. This will be a 57-yarder. Good snap, good hold. It has the length, and it is good. A lot of nodding from the officials on that. It's 10-7 Arizona, 1:21 to play. Game clock is down to 10 here in the first quarter. Stroud holds on. He's got Robert Woods. And Woods has got a first down to the 47. That will take us to the ends of the first quarter. But also because he liked what they were doing. And obviously he's playing for the injured Dameon Pierce, and he's got another first down. I'll tell you what, you can never have enough quarterbacks, but you can never have enough talented running backs also. Which it sounded like Jonathan Gannon appreciates that even more than the sacks. It's Sims. First catch. Sims has a blocker, and Sims has a first down.
Stopped their feet and just allowed themselves to be blocked.
Gain of 23 yards, a first down. Stroud gets rid of it quickly again. Pass is complete again. Nico Collins with a first down.
I think that's one of his great assets is his humility.
On second down, they give it to Singletary up the middle. Cuts to his left toward the goal line. And he is in. Touchdown, Texans. Devin Singletary. A strong 12-yard run. First down for the 25. 4-point lead. Tony Jones in the backfield for the Cardinals off the play fake. Murray has time. He's looking long again. He's looking for Hollywood Brown, and it is intercepted. Derek Stingley making his mark. That's Beck in motion off the play fake. Stroud looking to throw. Stroud, middle of the field. Tank Dell. Man, he just gets open, doesn't he? Antonio Hamilton is back on his feet. He wanted to enter the ball game again, but he couldn't. He has to sit out a play. That pass is complete to the 46-yard line. John Mechie. Second down and 8. Stroud to throw again. Pass is complete again. And Dell makes one-man miss Marco Wilson. They'll run it with Singletary. Nothing to the right. Cuts back to the left. And Singletary is close to another first down. Josh Woods makes the tackle.
I mean, once he did that, all eyes are on him every time he's on the field.
4 or 5 on third down. Stroud doesn't necessarily like to run, but he finds Nico Collins in his big body. On second down, Stroud off the play fake, looking toward the back of the end zone, and it's intercepted. Intended for Nico Collins, and Jalen Thompson is able to pick it out of the air. Rondell Moore in motion. Below the average so far on third down. Pass is complete. It's McBride, and he's right at the marker, and they've got a first down. Play clock winding down. Not a great snap. Murray handles it. He's in trouble. Gets away, then goes down. Blake Cashman was the first one there. Will Anderson was there as well. It'll be fourth down. It all worked out for him. Third down and 1. Off the play fake. He throws on every third down. He finds Dell up to the 41-yard line. Marco Wilson in on the coverage. And the consistency he's starting to establish with his yards per game. On second down, middle of the field, pass is complete. Schultz just sits down.
Let's use the timeout here. Come on.
Texans trying to get some points at the end of this half. They also will get the football to begin the second half. Stroud on first down. He was looking downfield. He's going downfield toward the end zone. Dell, leaping grab. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans.
C.J. Stroud just directed that play because once he broke the pocket, he pointed to Tank Dell and said, turn it up.
At that linebacker position. It's third down and short. Singletary, he's got the first down and more. Singletary stiff arms his way into Arizona territory.
I would think this ball is coming out of his hands ultra quick so that he doesn't get another hit.
Ogunbowale out of the backfield. Stroud, he's hit as he throws. Pass is complete to Dell, who's got the first down. How about that? Marco Wilson was the target.
The defensive line are even the tackles in the middle.
Stroud's looking for Boone, and Boone makes the leaping grab to the 30-yard line for the Texans. This will be a 48-yarder. Good snap, good hole. Kick is on its way, and it is no good.
They want to continue. It's not something he's comfortable with yet. That's something he did a lot, and as he gets more reps, he'll utilize that more.
Second down to the middle of the field. He's got Swain, and Swain's got a first down at the 39-yard line. Murray looking left, throwing left for McBride. He makes the catch as he goes out of bounds right at the marker. Petrie makes the tackle. Play clock is down under 5. Play clock was at 2 and he took the snap. He steps up in the pocket. He can run it. He's going to run it. He tries to direct traffic. He lowers his shoulder, knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Murray keeps it himself. Not much is there. Trying to get to the pylon. He does! Touchdown, Cardinals. And Kyler Murray will keep it himself. Does he get to the goal line? He's marked out inside the 1-yard line. He did not get there. He's been ruled out. Kaiser White is dealing with a shoulder injury. He's been on the sidelines this whole second half. And Stroud has that deflected high in the air, incomplete. He's also scrambled for 42 yards. Hands it off to Connor. Connor is able to get to the edge. And Connor bounces his way across the 40 to the 43-yard line.
Houston's having a hard time stopping the run.
Yeah, first time the Texans have allowed a 100-yard rushing game by a team since the Pittsburgh game on October 1st. As Dortch will get to the first down, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. We begin the fourth quarter. Arizona, this has been a problem for them this year. minus 63 point differential, but Kyler Murray finds Dortch, who's knocked out of bounds by Stingley.
On third down, he's at the top of the screen.
They hand it off, and they power down inside the 25. On fourth down, Murray looking to throw. Throws to his right. Dortch is shy of the first down marker. And the Texans stop them. About a half a yard shy of the first down. Thomas Cashman in on the tackle.
We haven't called Dennis Gardeck's name today much at all.
Pass complete to Nico Collins. Josh Woods wraps him up. He's right at that first down marker. All right, so Johnston will punt the ball away. Second punt of the day. This is a good one. Dortch is going to let it bounce and hit somebody. I don't know if it hit a Cardinal or a Texan, but the Texans fall on top of it.
Well, it's going to be really close because it hits a foot. Whose foot did it hit? And they say it hit the Cardinals. Now, Thomas could have jumped on that ball for Arizona. He was standing there, and he didn't jump on it.
But the look I got, really honestly, to me, it looks clear and obvious that it hits that right shoulder of 37.
You know, and I think, Gene, we all agree with you up here. They have all the angles that we have at our disposal. Singletary came in motion on second down, middle of the field, deflected and intercepted. Intercepted by Chris Barnes, and he's exploding out toward midfield. Second interception of the day for C.J. Stroud.
You've had Marquise Brown open a couple of times.
Murray, Jones out of the backfield. Jones makes one man miss with a beautiful hurdle. And again, it's almost the similar thing as you said before.
Yeah.
It was Jones who ran it.
He had one bad throw in the interception. The other one was deflected, and you trust him.
118.
Two tight ends. They hand it to Singletary. Nothing to his right. Cuts back to his left.
Receiver, get this first down.
Going to throw on third down, middle of the field. Nico Collins high in the air. Hutchinson in for the first time in this half. Stroud throws to the other side. It's intercepted again. The Cardinals will get it back. Antonio Hamilton. Murray, wobbler, caught. Hollywood Brown. He was right at the marker before he was pushed back, and they're going to give him a first down.
That middle of the field is open right now.
Murray finds the receiver, Dortch. Dortch, stiff arm. And Dortch still on his feet, scrambling. Oh, he was like an ant. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. Second down and 5. Here comes the blitz. Out of the backfield. It's Connor. And Connor gets to the first down marker. Christian Harris makes the tackle.
He's probably the most dangerous receiver they have. Vertical speed and horizontal speed.
On second down, they drop it underneath to Swain, the tight ends. It'll be third down.
The Texans showing blitz.
Murray takes the snap ball, swatted in the air. It's Harris again. Fourth down and 8. Murray, pressure's coming. Murray's hit as he throws, looking for Hollywood Brown. Broken up. Broken up by Steven Nelson.
But good teams find ways to win games when they make mistakes, and I think this Houston team is becoming a good team.
Well, how about this? I mean, it sets up a great matchup next week between the Texans and Jacksonville.